Okay, we're recording. Are you ready to go?
Sorry, I'm late to the recording.
That's okay.
Probably should have thought of something funny to say. Welcome to Adventures in Odyssey.
No, stop.
Oh.
That's not the name of the,
That's not the name of the
podcast. Welcome to Talking into
It
Tomatoes.
literally looks like we're doing a split screen.
Yeah, no, it's so. Look,
Whoa.
we're here.
So, 2 nights ago, I snuck down to Los Angeles and surprised Eric for our 40th birthday.
We're actually recording this on the last day of our 39th year on this planet.
What a way to...
What a good use of our time.
Such a good use of our time.
Welcome to Talking to Tomatoes, the podcast. I forgot to pull up our thing, where we analyze the fundamentalist children's media that we grew up with, not only for its quality, but for the pernicious propaganda behind it. I am Eric Everly.
And I'm Jubilee Alexander.
Yes, so this week's episode is For Trying Out Loud.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, we're trying to do a couple ones. We're literally recording this on Columbus Day. There is an episode about, it's called Columbus the Great Voyage. Can't imagine how bad that one is.
I was slathering, imagining how well they're going to handle colonialism.
Yeah, so we just finished listening to. We were debating whether we should do like a live listen to it together, but kind of thought that we'd be too
Well,
busy.
I've been traveling all weekend, and getting ready all weekend, and because it was a surprise,
lying all weekend
mostly, which I think is a sin. Not that they teach us about really anything in this.
This is So this episode, we have two parallel stories. We have the story of Liz, a girl who is bad at everything.
Wasn't the last episode literally the same
Two
thing?
episodes ago. I'll get to that in a second. But and then there's also a story about a theater that, and so we picked this one because there's a bunch of new characters that we haven't met yet before. There's a theater called the Harlequin Theater, and there's the guy who runs it.
Great name.
And his sniveling Renfield ass assistant, who are it's a bad theater. The guy is self-important. I was trying to grasp onto like they are communicating something with the way they're having this like artistic fellow be like up his own ass that. Again, it's one of those things that I'd be like, whatever, he's a stock character because he if it were anything other than focus on the family, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. It's just lazy writing. I'm like, no, I think there's something behind this.
Are you talking about the queer coding?
No. Oh, I wasn't actually. I was like, he's bad because he's an art. Like, art is bad.
Art is bad. We're using this art to communicate that art is bad.
Yeah, performers making fun of performers while they're literally making a radio show, but it's not. It's a Christian radio show, and the theater is not a Christian thing. But anyway, so we have two.
They're literally doing audio drama though, so like, what's the point of
making fun of this? It's very silly. So we have the story of Liz as she sort of is trying to figure out what she's good at, and then we have the story of this theater, and we're introduced to another character named Wooten, who is also bad at most things, but just has sort of a different take on
especially laughing.
He's bad at laughing.
He has this laugh. That, like, I mean, he's a typical, like, whining character like that, and, like, he's adorable. He's, like, bad at these things, but kind of doesn't really notice it. But he, like, hear the actors stop talking to laugh. It's like, when they make a very funny joke, which was, he says, like, you can call me Wooten Bassett?
Yeah, Bassett.
Wooten or Bassett. Most people call me Wooten or Bassett. Or, Schnookums if you're my mom, which most people are. And I was like, genuinely, like, bullshit random line, but I'm like, that's pretty funny. Most people are my mom. But he'll say he'll say something, "Where my mom?" And you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah, you couldn't have edited out the. He's like, hang on, I have to completely change my embouchure of my mouth so that I can make a funny laugh.
real actor here.
That
Embouchure. I've never even heard that fucking word.
Yeah, but he couldn't just go to
Like, it's fine.
like you could just do it like that, but apparently this guy can't. But yeah, we have an interesting, parallel stories because so Wooten comes to the theater because the theater is failing and they need a new act. They're hoping a new actor can generate some interest, and so they do auditions, and Wooten is the only one who shows up. And he's bad at everything, and then they spend the episode basically like shifting him around to different positions to hopefully find something that he's good at.
I liked that they took our notes that there were multiple scenes that were where they kept doing the same scene and they would go on for way too long. This one, they would like there's usually a standard audio drama musical stinger between shifts. And a couple of them were well done. A lot of times they would just suddenly be in a new scene.
I literally wrote down. I genuinely so that they had this very like artistic where someone would say a line in the one scene, and then without the weird audio drama stinger, we shift to the next scene, and then
Like,
somebody
this is-
on the same.
Yeah, little kids saying, "This is hopeless." And then it would just, there would be like, "This is hopeless." And then you hear like the rising of the other person's voice. Goes, "Oh, this is hopeless," of a little kid.
I'm like, that's a very that.
Well, the first couple times they did it, though, they literally just shifted. There was no connection right there. And I'm just like, we're the 4 lines, and then we're in a new scene, and then 6 lines, we're back to another. But it got decent.
Yeah. And honestly, they did us the disservice of not opening with a clear like thesis or a Bible verse or something for us to be like, now how are we going to be bad at this particular thing?
I almost looked up the Bible verse before, but decided not to.
Yeah, I forgot to do that too. We have the two stories, and it's very again they follow each other very. There's an audition. There's a confusing. There are many auditions. Like so, the theater story literally opens with the assistant. By the way, whose name is Shakespeare, the assistant to the big like fancy dudes. His name is Shakespeare. But he's not. But like,
He's not the actor.
He's not the actor.
And they're doing a Shakespeare show. They're doing Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah. So he goes, "Oh, sir, I saw a wonderful play yesterday," and I was like, "How many theaters?" My first thought was, "How many theaters are in this this tiny, small, mid-American town?"
I want to be in a town where there's 5 theaters that are all competing for actors.
But then he's like, "Oh, I saw a great show at the elementary school."
Odyssey Elementary School. I'm like,
Which now I just made the connection that the story of the girl who's not good at anything takes place at the middle school, because something I had written down when that wasn't made super clear was I was like the show that like they had like the temporal relationship of these scenes is confusing, but I'm like we go from. Someone comes back and goes, "I just saw a great show at the theater last night," and they're having auditions the next day for a different show, and I'm like, what is this elementary school's production schedule?
yeah, they're like, we gotta go. It's very
but
Ashland.
but I mean it was the middle school, but I mean still that's like it's like how the parents of in Odyssey are like, oh my god, it's like how we're going to like night.
And Wednesday night we're going to the play at the middle school, and then there's a black box drama at Whit's End, and then we have to go to the Harlequin on Saturday.
And then the middle school is
and the middle school has a
play.
matinee we have to go see, and oh my god, and then next week it all starts all over.
You go to the matinee for the elementary school, and I'll go to the matinee for the middle school, so that our kids think that we still care for them. Anyway, so the story of Liz is she's trying out all of these things. And she's not getting into them. And she tries out for a play, and she doesn't get cast. And her friend does, and the friend is kind of like, I got cast. And then she tries out for the cheer squad, and then neither of the two get in. and they're
And then it just completely derails their storyline because they like start investigating.
I was gonna say the biggest drama of this whole thing, like literally takes place in the last 3 minutes of the episode, where as she's like trying to figure out what she's good at, somebody mentions randomly with no evidence that the girl Liz is loyal to her friends, which then she immediately like goes to prove by when she asks she goes to the teacher and asks she's like she just has some questions about this election.
Did you hear me yell a couple of times? One of the time I was like, bitch, ask for a recount, and then she
did.
Literally, the next line was like,
we're kind of all over the place because the stories were, so it's kind of hard to follow because again it's the very Odyssey thing of the scenes just kind of keep. It's like here's another scene where Wooten is trying at his thing and he's being bad at it, and the main guy is frustrated, and
I don't know if it's me softening to the show in general or just like being like, okay, this is children's media, like, but I just like by and large I felt like, I don't know, I guess I felt like I was more annoyed at the at Liz's storyline just because it was like, oh, I'm not good at this. Oh, I'm not good at this. And then it's like, wait, let's go dumpster diving. Let's find the votes. Let's plant suspicion in the teachers. And I was like, okay, where did this come from? And like, and I think probably what it was is like, I did not mind the adults and the actors hamming it the hell up. I'm like, sure, kids media. Like, it's for kids. Like, they're chewing on this. I mean, the main guy, Blackguard, the main guy, is literally like, I cannot abide having no one in the audience.
He has a very, the way that Russell Crowe sings in the Les Mis movie. He's just the way that he talks. I
stole all of our bread.
Let's go to a show where there are dozens of children. And it's.
Which, man, if this is your first time in theater, that is an objectively smart way to cast in local theater. It's why...
popular people.
No, it's you cast children, and you cast lots of children, as annoying as they are to deal with. My local theater does the Nutcracker. Sold out every year. They do it literally every year. They've done it for like 30 years or something. And they cast 150 children, and each one of those children that you cast is a mom, a dad, and at least 2 grandparents. And probably then a couple of kids' tickets for their siblings.
Exactly.
At the very, very end of the episode, they plug, like, the 2 characters who are both bad at things, like, meet up at Whit's End. And again, after he's apparently working all day, and he's a mail carrier, and he's working, and again, everybody works at the commune/co-op of Whit's End.
Both Wooten and Blackguard are like, this is episode 500 or something of the show. So obviously we must have met these characters before, but again, I feel like there's a weird inconsistency in this media where it's like there are some elements where it's like we get it, they're kids at school, like you don't need to establish that they're at school, they're like kids. So there's all this stuff that they do establish. And then there's important stuff like the names of some of these characters. It was 8 minutes into the episode before the main character of the theater story, Edwin Blackguard, his name is actually said. We get Shakespeare, the character Shakespeare's name, 3 or 4 times. But because Shakespeare only refers to Blackguard as Sir, we just get him. And we're like, okay, what's, like, who the
It's very strange.
Who is this guy? I don't know. I actually found Wooten an extremely annoying character. Like, I mean, and it's again one of those things where it's like how much of this is. It wasn't just that he was like his vocal affectations are very like goofus. Like he's like, oh, I'm just going in here. He rambles. He goes on tangents. He's got a running bit that they
little bullshit like I had a dream about an alien,
blue aliens, and then he's like time for me to go to my happy place. I'm gonna say a bunch of random happy things, and one of them is like carburetors, and I'm like, okay,
cool.
Yeah, cool. You're some guy is like the issue. The
Well,
episode
I think
is
it goes back to, apparently Wooten was doing Julius Caesar in the 3rd grade. So, honestly, American education gone downhill since then.
Even in a town like Odyssey, they were teaching Shakespeare in 3rd grade. The political intrigue that we eventually get to in the middle school story is so after the tryouts, the girl Liz, who's bad at everything, is basically hyping her friend up who did well, and the friend is trying to be nice.
Which, by the way, the friend is now in choir and a play and cheerleading.
Yeah,
because she's too good and she keeps getting cast and everything. Well, I guess, no, she does. She does then eventually, I think she would kind of be like, oh, no, I didn't get into cheerleading. Like, I have too many extracurriculars.
Yeah, you'd think she'd be like, it's okay.
And she has to go to 6 plays a week, apparently.
It was kind of, again, in a show that is so over the top in their characterization of people, the way they coded the mean girl, like, cheerleader was so slight. I mean, she was a LaCroix mean girl, and she wasn't even particularly snotty. She was just like, well, I think I'm going to get onto it because I'm popular, sort of a thing. Because, and again, fire the Odyssey student or the Odyssey PTA. What the fuck is the organization? The school board. Fire the Odyssey school board, because they're like, this year, for the first time ever, we are going to allow students to vote on who gets to be on the cheer squad. Who gets to
be the cheerleaders of all
cheerleaders, a highly athletic, and by the way, proportionately like the most dangerous sport in like sub-collegiate athletics. It is a very dangerous thing. You would want to build a team that has the people like solid bases and tiny flyers.
It's not pep rally, go and yell around, because honestly you probably would want the popular kids to like.
Which literally just now I'm making there is a weird dissonance in the Wooten is popular and that's good for the thing that he's doing. But these mean girl cheerleaders are popular, and it's bad that they're involved in the thing. I mean, I get that, Wooten tried out, but he was also not good at the thing that he tried out for. But there's a mixed message there.
That is weird.
In the popular. Anyway, we
know women are bad, so
Well, Odyssey, I don't know that. I don't know that.
You were just saying when the camera was
I did
off.
not say that.
Continue to talk about how bad women are.
Look, just because we're listening to this,
I became objectively a worse person when I became a woman.
Oh Jesus. But yeah, so the mean girls basically get to vote. Somehow the members of the cheer squad get to vote on who gets to be in the cheer squad. Of course, our main two girls, the one who's not good at it and the one who is good at it, don't get onto the cheer squad. But and then they're like, oh, that's suspicious. So Liz goes to the teacher and is like, can I see the votes? Can we do a recount? And I'm like, here it is. It's the seeds of election denial being planted in.
It didn't start with. It didn't start in 2000. It started in 1993.
This is episode 500, so this might have actually been late 90s by the time we were here. And then the teacher's like, oh, I mean, we could, but we already threw away all the
destroyed the paper ballots.
We threw them away. So then Liz and Julie, is that the other girl?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Liz, my favorite thing when you're trying to do a good job is to be like, it's not important. It doesn't matter.
It will never matter.
Fuck this bullshit.
So Liz and her friend go dumpster diving to find the ballots, and they finally do, and they realize that all of the ballots have been written by the same person. So somebody threw out the ballots, and then the teacher's like, we're going to revote. I don't think we actually learn if they get on the cheer squad, because
no, the very end cheated.
Oh, they do. Okay,
they revote. They revote.
I mean, I know they talked about the.
Well, they revote and they use it to say, "Oh, you're good at investigating," so she becomes an investigative journalist for some Odyssey middle school newspaper.
Yeah.
And again, that feels like important and specific, and not the thing to just be like, "Oh yeah, anyway, now you're going to go investigate things," and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it
A
was.
whole investigation about burritos happens in the middle of it. Like, I mean, it's a throwaway joke line, but I'm just like, I feel like that literally happened 10 minutes ago, and she's already on her third
Yeah,
story.
and I'm just like, to create a radio drama and have all the drama in the last, like, because again, every scene is basically the same. Oh, Liz is bad at something, and so is Wooten. Here we go, and the people around them are frustrated in their various ways. And then it's like at the very end, we have actually like kind of an interesting sort of a thing. Like it seems like, hey, that's dishonest. Like this could be a story about dishonesty. Just a little throwaway thing. So in the theater story, they're bouncing Wooten around to all these jobs, and he blinds the blackguard with the lights as a lighting technician, and he decorates the set with the haha random things like lollipops and Twinkies, and then
The trees were too scary.
and then he nukes a almost funny joke where the blackguard is like, "This isn't Shakespeare in Candyland," and then he goes, "Well, actually, there weren't any Twinkies in Candyland." He's like, "Oh, you can't say that. That's a name brand there, Mister Blackguard. We'd be sued into oblivion for that." Which is like this weird, the thing that just turns Wooten from like a weirdly childish, like stupid character to having these weird moments of like insight and stuff.
Well, yeah, he like his voice again changes when he like goes to give advice to Liz and is like, oh,
yeah, we can't.
God gives us all gifts is like is the thing, and the verse is something like that, like God gives gifts like as He will to in each in their own way or something like that.
Yeah, so I sort of assume it was if the closest thing to a Bible message that is going to be in this story, we can't have the guy given a voice like this because it'll feel disrespectful.
Don't give him that voice.
Yeah, then, don't give him that voice. Have someone else. I mean, why the fuck is Whit always gone? Like
where have we seen him in a single episode?
I don't think we've. He's only.
No, he was the voice in the one kid's head.
Oh, that's right, the very first episode. But we're like, where the fuck does Whit go all the time?
Yeah,
was
he's
he
always...
the most? I mean, I guess he must have been the most expensive actor. So they're like, we can only get him in half of these. But it's like every time you walk into Whit's End, someone else is like filling in for Whit.
And I feel like they always draw attention. Like I don't think I miss him, but I feel like they always draw attention to. Nice to see you. Whitaker's not here right now. Although maybe
everyone get off my ass. Whit isn't here right now. You'll be the 40th person.
Yeah. Maybe everyone is, because there's 300 small businesses inside of Whit's End. Everyone's always in there, and they need Mr. Whitaker because they're all having their main character moment. And he's like, "Oh my God, Whitaker's not here. Shut up."
Okay, there was this one really funny point where at the end of sort of trying to figure out what Wooten can do in the theater, Blackguard, he's like, I'm just gonna give you a small role so you don't fuck up the technical aspect. Which, God, my heart jumped when he was like, I'm gonna put you in the lighting booth. And he's like, it's up there. He's like, okay. And you like hear him, his voice sort of like disappears as he like walks away. I'm like, you're just setting him, oh my God, you're just setting him loose in a theater tech booth. But he gives him the role of guard number 3, which, because of Blackguard's ridiculously over-the-top English accent, I thought he said God number 3, and I'm like, whoa, are we doing a like I was like, I thought we were doing Shakespeare, not like a classical like Greek drama.
Yeah, you're like, is this one of the histories or the tragedies that I don't ever watch? They're doing Midsummer Night's Dream, by the way, which near and dear to my heart, and I was very proud of myself that I knew what scene. The final line.
La di da. Okay, and then also just a story nitpick. I didn't go back to double check this, but I'm almost certain that early in the episode they were like, we're gonna vote on the 6 girls who are on the cheer squad, and then later when it's announced and the 2 girls like because it's sort of it's the disruption of the Liz doesn't get in and her friend does. Sort of a thing by the fact that they both don't get in. The announcement voice comes on, and it only names 4 people who are on the cheer squad, and I'm like, and which then again, trying to write a better episode of what I thought there was going to be something, because they so diet Mean Girl coded the Mean Girls. I was like, oh, they're both going to get in at the end. Because they're only I'm my pattern recognition brain is like trying to make something interesting happen. And so it's like, oh, they only added 4 girls to the cheer squad. There's 2 spots left.
That's fine. I'd pick up on that.
But then, no, it's haha, you're not popular, and I am. Which also was like, how is the super talented, super nice girl not popular? Like, popular. I mean, I guess this might have been in the 90s, and so...
I mean, that's the whole thing where most people who are popular are actually generally pretty... Like, there's always, like, one mean person, but why does all media depict every popular person as a fucking tyrant? When you're like, we wouldn't hang out, we wouldn't like this person. Like, if this it doesn't matter. They drop the Bible verse after the episode is over, and we're like, okay, so
hang on, I'm gonna look up the Bible verse. We're looking up the Bible verses. I got 10,000 different translations here. That'd be interesting to kind of try to figure out, to look at some of these verses and go like, what is being changed by choosing one version over the other. So again, they didn't open with the Bible verse, but they did have Wooten give this message, and he said something very strange, which is that he's like, God gives us all the things that we're good at. That's his job.
Yeah, I do
like,
remember that jumping
what?
out as a weird thing.
What?
That's God's job. I mean, technically, if he creates everything, then I guess everything's his job. But it's also like,
and it's also like, A, that's confusing, and B, it's coming from the show's Goofus, which is like, so are we supposed to is this bad information that we're being given from him, or yeah, it's very odd that Goofus is the one who's being given to us.
It's also very thinking more or less Bible-y, more just sort of generic, like children's media. It's like some people are naturally gifted at things, and then some people have to work at them. Like, I feel like both of the episodes now that have been about I'm bad at stuff was people being like, God damn it, I'm not immediately good at everything. The first time as a little kid when one of your friends is suddenly really good at basketball and you're like, or whatever, and you're just like, oh, no, I'm not good at basketball. Oh, wow. Like that's an important lesson and one you could teach. But because they make it God gives you this gift and you are immediately good at it, is an odd way. It's just weird.
So what do you want to? So that's basically it for this disjointed episode. What do you want to rate this as?
Let's give it 2 desiccated cherry tomatoes. No, I'll give it 5. I'll honestly give it 4. I generally, despite all the nitpicking, generally enjoyed it. It was it was relatively well voice acted. Like the kids were not too like I hated Wooten's voice, but. That you had a very like casual English accent. Oh, absolutely ridiculous, hamming it up English accent, and then you had this Goofus. That was fun. That was like a fun, goofy little thing. Like,
not as bad of an episode as I was sort of expecting. I kind of wish we had seen this one and we could have done like a 2-parter with the other one that was about comparing the two sort of in the moment, but. But yeah, I'm going to rate it 4 out of 6 cheerleaders.
One tiny little thing that has since come up since we did the episode with the verse about Naaman. Naaman's this Assyrian guy, not important. The guy who goes to a prophet and gets healed after being told to wash it. Guess what giant piece of information Odyssey left out of that? The reason the king's general found out about this is because his wife had a slave, I think who was an Israelite, had an Israelite slave and said, oh, they should go talk to that. And they just left that out and goofified it.
Yeah, they turned it into the goofy story of
like, we're buddies, you should go talk to, like, yeah, I guess it was sort of a lot of Bible stories don't make sense, so I just sort of took them at their word. So, I mean, and weirdly, that almost, I would imagine it has something to do with this general is probably the one that helped conquer and then take the slave. So it's like it's that thing. It's that thing of the conquered enslaved person is now being doing this kindness of telling the general.
But of course, the story gets too complicated when we introduce difficult concepts like war and slavery, and war and conquest. And stuff into it, so we can't have that in our children's media. So we have to sanitize the story. I think next time we're gonna try to do the 2-parter that we talked about. I saw there was a 3-parter, but yeah, if you know a way to get a hold of more of these episodes, because we have lists of like all of them, and we keep seeing these episodes, and I'm like, I want it so bad.
If anyone has any idea how to get a hold of them, or has old media of those, maybe we should start looking at secondhand stores, see if we can. I cannot imagine that secondhand stores have keep a lot of CDs around.
In the meantime, you can follow us on all of the things. I also individually, I am Eric.Eberly on TikTok,
and I'm Titan of Joy _.
You want to do the send off? It's a thing now.
Wait, what is it? The Chris?
No, it's the talking to tomatoes. Talk to you later, tomatoes.
Now, oh, one more thing. The most hackneyed shit at the end of this episode was they had Chris comes in and she's like, here's the fucking Bible verse, and you'll never know when it's actually over. And then she goes, I wasn't good at this when I first started. And then they do fake bloopers, which is just her going, ha, blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, I said the word. Like, it's so easy to do real bloopers. Or just don't do them.
Or just leave it out.
Hack shit, Chris. Anyway, welcome to it. Thanks for watching. Talking to Tomatoes. Rest in piss, Dr. Wilson.
Oh, that'll be our send off.
Yeah.